everybody. I debated a long time to even do this video because I've had a lot of mean comments the past, I guess, 6 to 8 months online, and it's a lot of bullying. I've had to block some people because I don't put up with that, but I've had this is going to be a hard one. I'm going to try not to cry. I've had just a really tough week. Really hard. Just everything is against me. Everything that I'm trying to prepare for to go to compete at nationals is coming against me. So I don't know. It's been a lot. Y'all just keep me in your prayers. Just keep me in your prayers. You like my hair? This is my new hair, Shelly. So thank you. Thank you. My dear friend Andrea helped me get this hair. So thank you. So I'm gonna thank you. All right, I'm going to go get raw and deep and transparent with you all, and we're going to talk about my weight loss journey and how I started my crowning confidence, what led me up to the transformation and all this stuff. So just bear with me. I'm going to get emotional. All right, I skipped working out to come and do this. I did. Okay. Many of you know, if you've watched me the past few years, or if you know me for a long time, know that I have always struggled with my eating and my weight. It's something that I have struggled with for a while. I was anorexic in it started the end of elementary school going into middle school, and there's a lot of reasons. I want to tell you the root of all my problems, because I'm sharing this with you because so many people ask me, what did you do to lose weight? And it doesn't matter what you do to lose weight. It's honestly all your mental. It's what you're going through mentally and getting to the root of the problem. Because, you know, it's any diet works. Weight Watchers works. Surgery can work. Any diet will work. But are you willing to do it? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. My journey, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, why I don't talk about a certain thing anymore, because people ask me about that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But honestly, you can't get thin unless you get to the root of the problem. Honestly, you just can't. Okay, so mine started, I grew up, and I'm not blaming it on anybody. I had a lot of insecurities growing up. I was bullied at first grade. Really, really bad. And I never forget my mom saying, and I'm not going to name her name because she might be on Facebook. But my mom said to me, you're always going to have that person always in your life. So from 5 years old, I knew that there was always going to be a mean girl. That's what was put in my head. So, and I was very shy and had no self-esteem whatsoever. When I went to middle school is when a lot of my problems started. I grew up dancing. And my love was ballet. Well, when you see yourself in the mirror, especially as your body's changing, and that's a very difficult age, it's hard. It's hard on you, and it's hard on a little girl that's now becoming a woman, and all these things are happening to her body. It's hard. Factor in starting a new school that was very small and very cliquey, and one of your dear friends got popular and you didn't. So guess what happened to me? The only thing I could feel like I control in my life was food. So I turned to one day saying, well, maybe if I'm thinner, these girls would like me. Maybe if I'm thinner, then I would be in the popular crowd, right? That mentality started in the 7th grade. It got so bad that year that I dropped down to 80 pounds, and I'm 5'7". So I was 5'7" at the age of 13, 14, okay? I was really tall. My dad was tall. And so my starting weight was probably around 112 pounds. And I starved myself that whole year and got down to 80 pounds. And you could see every bone in my body. It was horrible. My parents did everything they could for me. Back then, it was talked about, but not as near as it is now. And there wasn't a lot of treatment for it back then. So what my mom would have me do is like read books and watch Tracy Gold's movie about it. At that point, Tracy Gold had anorexia too. Well, guess what happened to me? I was like, yeah, I'll watch this, but I was learning more tricks for it. And I did play tricks at my parents. And anybody that suffers from anorexia knows it is not about food, it's about control. So when somebody like a parent comes in and tells you, you have to do this, you have to eat that, as a teenager, your first thing is you're going to rebel, especially with food. So I rebelled. I hid food from my parents. I learned a lot of tricks out there. It got bad to the one point that I would eat my food and chew it up and spit it out. That's how bad it was. It was really, really bad. And then I hid that. So it was close to the end of the school year in 8th grade, and my parents caught that in my room, and my mom came up to the school, checked me out, brought me back home, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. My dad found all the evidence, and he was devastated. And my dad was my best friend, and I always wanted to make my daddy proud, and my dad sat there and cried and said, I don't know what to do to save you, Brandy. And so at that point, they threatened to take me out of dance class. They said that they were going to change my school. And I said, I'm okay if you change my school. And my dad said, what is one food that you would eat? And I said, probably ice cream, Dad. And so I'm going to cry a lot in this video because it's just been a hard week on me this week with just a lot of stuff going on. So I said, Dad, I think I would eat ice cream. So that summer, I promised my dad that I would get better, and I did. And that was my safe food. And so I put weight back on. It got back up to about 110 pounds. My mom and dad put me in a new high school, public high school, and I walked in not knowing anybody, but there was people that are on here on my Facebook page who are still friends to this day that were so kind to me when I started a new school. And that helped a lot. But no boy ever talked to me in high school, really. I always felt like, okay, why is everybody else have boyfriends and I don't have a boyfriend? I mean, I battled with that from 9th, 10th, 11th grade on. I liked boys, but nobody asked me out. Nobody paid any attention to me. So inside it made me feel I'm ugly. Something's wrong with me. Why? If I, looked like this girl, if I acted like this girl, then I would be popular and then these boys would like me. I just wanted a boyfriend. So I didn't want to go back to anorexia because I, again, wanted to please my father. So I decided to become bulimic. I would eat and then make myself throw up, and I would do it in the shower. So nobody would hear me. And so that's what I did. Because I didn't want my parents to know, that's what I did. And that went on all through high school. It did a little bit in college. I finally got a boyfriend my senior year, and I stayed with him for a long time because I'm a very loyal person. That's who I am. But anyway, I knew at that point in college how to control it. If I binged and threw up, I knew how to control my weight. And I was not big. I weighed probably like 130 pounds. I wasn't big at all. And then in my in my early 20s, and I'll just put it out there. In my early 20s, I got married. And I'm not going to say anything bad because he holds a special place in my heart. I just was too young, and we just didn't mesh together. It just never work. But anyway, I was around food a lot, and my weight would go up and down, up and down, up and down like that in my 20s. But I always managed it. I always could manage it. When I turned 30, and I was, I met my husband, Michael, now, when I was 32. So in my early 30s is when I first met my husband, Michael, my weight was fine. Everything was fine. And I told Michael, I said, Michael, I have an eating problem. I just want you to know that. And he knew my struggles. He knew what I was going through. But Michael was different. Because Michael had such a healthy relationship with food, and I always envied that about him. Even to this day, I envy that about him. He only thinks about food when he gets hungry. And I'm like, that's how God intended us. That's how God made us. And I said, Michael, I wish I had your brain. I wish I could be like you. And he doesn't think about food. Like, I go all day and think about food, but he doesn't. So he taught me some good stuff. Well, when I got pregnant with Randall, I was excited because I was told I was never going to be able to have a baby. I was told that in my 20s because of what has happened to my body, what I had done. I also had a pituitary tumor, not cancerous, pituitary tumor that was messing up my woman thing. And the neurosurgeon said, you know, you're going to be at a great risk if you get pregnant because your pituitary gland could grow and it can cause a lot of damage. And he's like, I just don't feel like that doesn't need to be an option for you. So in my mind, I always thought, well, I'm not ever going to get to be a mom. Well, when Michael and I decided to try to get pregnant, it did happen. And I felt like, okay, God, okay, I'm going to take good care of my body. You've given me this gift of life. And I did. I took very care of my body when I was pregnant with him. I ate, but I ate a lot because I thought, well, my goodness, nobody's going to judge me because I'm pregnant and I'm eating for two. That was my mentality. And my doctor told me, he said, you need to kind of slow down on the weight gain because it's going to be really hard on your body at the end of pregnancy if you gain a lot of weight. And I didn't listen to him. And I gained about 80 pounds in my pregnancy. And after Randall was born, the next day I remember laying in the hospital bed and pushing on my belly. I'm like, why does my stomach feel like a water bed? I was like, what is this? Because I was used to having a flat stomach. And I'm like, why is my stomach flat again? And I come back home and I'm thinking, okay, I can't breastfeed because I have a pituitary tumor. And if that will make it grow. So I was told, can't breastfeed. So, because I always heard if you breastfeed, you can lose weight. Well, I couldn't breastfeed and the weight wasn't coming off. And I developed postpartum depression like something fierce. You would not believe the crap I went through the first year of his life. That's another Facebook Live right there all in itself. That's the reason why we only have one child. Okay, everybody asks me, why don't you have one kid? That is the reason. My husband said he cannot physically and mentally go through what we went through after Randall was born for a whole year. So, try not to ramble here. So that happened. And I had to quit my job, and my job was my identity. So again, there's all these roots of why this is happening to me, and I never dealt with it. I never got the help I needed, ever. It was just manifesting itself in different phases in my life, okay? When I wasn't controlling food, I was shopping. I was addicted to shopping. My addictions would go in different places because I had to put my energy in something, right? So finally, after 8 months of me binge eating, because Michael knew what I was doing, I would wait until he went to work and I would just raid the kitchen. And I would probably eat about, thank you, Miss Shelley. I was eating probably about 5,000 to 8,000 calories at night. It was a lot. And I didn't make myself throw up. I just ate because I didn't want to do that to my body again. But I just ate. And I ate, and you know what I was doing? I was pushing down my feelings. I was eating my feelings. I was eating my insecurities. And it was comfort for me. That was my comfort. That was my therapy. And my weight ballooned up really quickly. And after the first year, Michael took me back to the doctor and got me on medicine because of the postpartum depression. And I developed severe, like, crazy anxiety. Like, I'm talking about crazy anxiety where I thought crazy stuff about my child, about myself. Like, my kid's going to, like, fall off the balcony, hit his head. I mean, crazy, weird stuff. And I realize now a lot of women have that after you get pregnant, some kind of anxiety. So I had that going on for myself, too. And it was just a really dark place in my life. I felt different. I looked different. I could not look at myself in the mirror. I hated myself. I was ashamed of what I looked like. I had all this anger and rage in me, and I took it out on my husband. I took it out on my mom, and it was a dark mental place for me. I felt so far away from God. I felt like I was going to go to hell. I was like, I'm not even a Christian anymore. What is wrong with me? And I would cry out to God at night, please, Lord, help me. Help me. And I never heard from him. And because I was like, what is happening? And that went on for about 4 years. So when Randall turned 4, I started having a lot of problems. I started feeling really bad. I started retaining a lot of water. I went to the doctor and was diagnosed with diabetes. I was diagnosed with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, I knew my father had had 5 heart attacks. I knew heart disease was in my family. My grandfather died of it. My grandmother died of it. My whole side of the Tudor side has heart problems. So I knew my age here, I'm getting close to 40, and all this weight on my body, what was it doing to my heart? My internal medicine doctor said he was going to do a physical on me. He did, and my EKG came back really bad. And he said, I'm going to get you to take a treadmill, the stress test. And I said, okay. So he had me go do that. That did not come back good. They gave me nitro pills. And anybody knows what a nitro pill is? I knew exactly what that was because my father took it. And that was a rude awakening right there, because I thought, oh my God, my son is 4 years old and I could have a heart attack any second. And I have these pills in my purse. If it happens, I can take a pill. Well, they made me go get an echocardiogram done, and that was extremely, extremely scary. So I'm laying there, and I don't know if an echocardiogram is like doing an ultrasound on a pregnant lady, but they do it on your heart. So they put the gel and they do all this. It's pretty cool. And then they have other tests that they do. And I'm laying there thinking, they're going to tell me I have all this blockage in my heart. I just know it. And he came back in. He said, it's not irreversible. You can fix this, but you are heading down a really bad path really, really fast. And if you do not stop what you're doing and get healthy, you will not live to see your son grow up. So that's when reality hit. And that was in 2016, close to the end of 2016. I came home that afternoon and sat down and came up with a plan for myself, a mental plan. It wasn't a diet plan, it was a mental plan, because I had been on every diet you can think of. I have done it. Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, the shots, the patch. Everything works. Everything out there works. Every diet works. But I wasn't willing to do what I needed to do. I was in denial, big time. So I came up with a mental plan for myself, because I knew in order for me to change, I had to hold myself accountable, because nobody could do it for me. My husband even said, I will pay you $1,000 if you will lose weight. And he wasn't doing that to say that to me because he wanted me to thin. He did that because he knew he could hold me accountable that way. And I said, yeah, let's do that. You know how long that lasted? A week. After a week, I was like, I'm done. I don't want the money. I'll just continue to eat like I was eating. So I developed a plan for myself, and it was to hold myself accountable. And I called it Crowning Confidence. And I always have loved crowns. Anybody that knows me knows that I love crowns. Tiaras. I can't say crown right. My husband says like it's sounding like a coloring crown. But tiaras. Everybody knows me. I love tiaras. And I got a bracelet that had a crown on it because I wanted to be able to see it at every second of the day. And it was to remind myself to find the crown inside of your heart every day, because somebody told me that back in 2008. And as soon as they told me that, like, it hit home hard for me. And I'm like, wow, I love that. And because she said, you can't always win at life, but you can be the best version of yourself. And she's like, find that crown inside of your heart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. And it just resonated with me. So I wrote that down on the top of the paper, and I wrote my 5 steps down. And I said, okay, Brandy, we're going to focus mentally right now instead of your weight. And this is how I talk to myself. I'm going to get mentally right, and then I'll focus on the weight loss. So I sat there and I did all these steps every day, and it was helping me break bad habits. And when I tell you a bad habit, I'm telling you, I would sleep to 10 o'clock in the morning. I would get up, have my pajamas on, go sit on the couch all day, and I was still working. And thank God I can work from home. I have we know what I do. I work from home, right? So I sat on the couch all day in my pajamas. My husband would come home. He's like, did you even take a bath today? I'm like, no. Because I had I was like, no, I didn't. I'm just going to sit here. So that was a bad habit, and I needed to break that. But I had done it for 4 years, so how was I going to break that habit? The same habit. I would tell myself, okay, today is the day I'm going to do Weight Watchers. I'm going to go to my meeting today. And so that's what I said to myself when I woke up. And then I go get breakfast. And guess what happens at breakfast? I overeat. In my mind, I said, okay, I messed up. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going to eat like there's no tomorrow today. And then tomorrow I'm going to do it again. Tomorrow I'm going to do right. I'm going to do better. I'm going to start my Monday tomorrow. And that's how the bad habit of food addiction started for me. So that's 4 years I had to break a food addiction of not even getting out of pajamas all day, doing nothing in the house, that kind of stuff. So I came up with these 5 steps, and I started implementing them immediately. And I started seeing a change in myself. I started getting happier. Other people around me started noticing. My husband started noticing me breaking bad habits. And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, I came up with this plan for myself, okay? Came up with this plan for myself. And when I felt like I was mentally right, I started going to see a counselor. And I started going to Celebrate Recovery. I started going to Overeaters Anonymous because I stopped being in denial. And I said, I have a problem. And I started going to those classes, and they helped me so much. And that is where I found light again. That is where I found God again. Those 2 places have a near and dear to my heart, especially Celebrate Recovery, because it saved my life. So I started doing that. Again, it's not a diet program. None of that is a diet program. But mentally, I was getting to the root of my problems. What is the root? What is all this that I'm feeling? Why am I doing this with food? Why am I doing this to myself? I need to kill at the root. Because if not, then nothing's going to change in my life. As far as my weight, nothing's going to change unless I realize, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I self-sabotaging myself? What's the problem? So we dug really deep, and a lot of my problems stemmed from being bullied, low self-esteem. I love my mother, and I forgive her for what she said and done to me. But there are things about her that hurt me to this day still. There are things she says even today to me that hurts me to the core. And I know she's doing the best that she can, and I forgive her because she has had a bad, abusive childhood, and she never got help for it. So I forgive her for that, and that I know she's trying to do the best she can. But as a child, what things were said to me, what things were done to me, even now to this day, I was bullied so bad online back in 2011. Unbelievable what I went through online, on the internet. What people had did to me. That hurt. Those little hurts add up to a lot of pain. And so I had to deal with those roots. I had to deal with forgiving and trying to move on and trying to heal from it. And I worked on that at the end of 2016 all the way to 2017. I lost a few pounds. I lost about 10 to 15 pounds. And I just told my husband, I said, I'm just so desperate to get this weight off. I'm so desperate. I've tried every diet. I feel like I need to do something drastic. And he was against it. But I watched a couple of my friends have surgery, and I thought, well, look, they had surgery. That's an easy fix. That right there. Okay, I've got my mental stuff right. Now I'm going to go get surgery, and that's going to be the best easy fix, and I'm going to be set free. I'm going to be so happy, right? That's what I thought, because everybody has that misconception about surgery. And that is why I don't talk about it anymore, because I'm ashamed of what happened to me after surgery, and I'm fixing to tell you about that. This was brought up to me this week. I had people bully me online over this subject on a comment, so they got blocked and deleted, because I'm not going to have negativity in my life, and I refuse to respond to that anymore because I'm a strong person now. So here's the thing. Against my husband's wishes, because he was scared to death, because I have a heart problem, okay? Even though it's fixed now, I still have to be careful. And when you go get elective surgery, you're putting yourself at risk. You know, anytime that you get put to sleep, you're putting yourself at risk, okay? My husband was in the hospital himself that week with stomach problems, and I said, I'm going to do this. So my best friend took me because she had the surgery, and I was like, let's do this. This is going to be my magic tool. This is my magic wand. It's going to be awesome. Well, the doctor came in and went over everything again. He's like, I'm going to tell you this. This is not going to fix every one of your problems. This is not a magic wand. You're going to have to do the work, okay? So I had surgery, and I had the gastric sleeve done. And when I got out of recovery, when I tell you that was the worst pain I felt in my entire life, That literally was the worst pain I ever felt in my entire life. I was gripping. I was in recovery, and all I can remember was gripping and saying, please give me something for this pain. I am dying. It hurt so bad. And thank God for Misty being there with me, because I was hurting really, really bad. And immediately I was like, why did I do this to myself? Why did I do this to myself? I'm scared to death. I was scared to death for 48 hours because I'm like, something bad's going to happen to me. God's going to punish me for this. You know, I should not be altering my body. Something bad's going to happen to me. But thank God it didn't. And the first 3 months, it worked great. Do you know why it worked great? Because I didn't eat. Because I couldn't eat. And that is why I lost weight so fast. And because my little stomach was cut open, and I have staples all the way around it to this day still inside. Because they don't tell you all this sometimes. You have to do your research, okay? My stomach was trying to heal. So when it was healing, it wouldn't allow me to eat much, okay? But guess what happens? Your stomach heals. Your body has a way of healing itself. It's pretty amazing, actually. God has a way of healing our boo-boos. So when your stomach heals, it's going to stretch out some. And you're going to start eating. And guess what happens? You learn how to cheat, especially if you have an eating disorder. So my sleeve surgery failed me. And I stopped talking about it after the 4th and 5th month because I didn't want people to think I was a failure or judge me. So that is why you haven't seen me talk about it. Okay? And I don't promote it because I know now to this day that you can lose weight without surgery. People ask me, would you do it again? Absolutely not. I would not put myself through that pain. I would not, because I know what I did to lose weight. I lost about 40 pounds for the sleeve, okay? My weight started at 2, they make you lose weight before you have surgery too. So my highest weight was 280. I got down to about 235 before surgery. So you see, I did that without surgery. I took it from 280 to 235 without surgery, okay? Because I knew what I needed to do to lose weight. I needed to cut back on calories. So I lost down to about 200 pounds pretty quickly because all I could do was drink liquid protein drinks because my little tummy was trying to heal. Well, when my tummy healed, guess what happened? In my mind, I'm like, crap. Everybody's going to judge me. I'm a failure. This didn't work. What am I going to do? And I started eating my emotions again, my feelings. Okay? I stopped doing my crowning confidence steps for about a month because I started like feeling like a failure. I was like, I'm a failure. I'm going to be that story of that girl who had surgery, who it failed her. And everybody's going to know because I put it out there publicly against my husband's wishes. And I wish I listened to him because he always has the best advice. And I was judged harshly. The comments that were told to me hurt me to the core, even to this day. I was told I took the easy way out. I was told a lot of mean stuff. Even after I won Mrs. Tennessee, I was on a live, excited, telling the world, somebody got on my live and said, you need to thank your doctor because that's why you won. Somebody said that on my Facebook Live to me the moment after I won my pageant. So, do you know what that did to me? It crushed my spirit. And thank God, one of my teammates for my team saw that, immediately messaged me. She said, Brandy, I'm so sorry. You need to delete that. I'm so sorry she said that to you. So, thank you, Shelly. I love you for saying that to me. Okay, so that happened. That's why you don't hear me talk about it. People private message me all the time, and I'm very open and very transparent on my journey, and I'm not knocking it. People do amazing at it. It saves people's lives. Everybody's story is different, okay? This is my story. This is what happened to me. I learned how to cheat. I learned that junk food goes down easy and you don't get full on it. So I knew how to eat candy, popcorn, any of that stuff, okay? You learn how to cheat. And that's why you see people gain all their weight back, because guess what? They didn't fix it up here. So yeah, they lost like hundreds of pounds the first year because their surgery worked for them, but they didn't learn the right mental capacity, and guess what? All the weight's coming back on, okay? So I was like, Brandy, no. This is how I told myself. When I was like, why can't I eat all this food and not be full? Why is this happening to me? I could eat a whole bag of popcorn and not get full. And I'm like, okay, this is not right at 5 months. I should not be able to eat like this. This is not right. That something is wrong. And I wanted to blame the surgeon, but it's not his fault. It was my fault because I knew how to cheat. And I was like, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. This is not a magic tool. Like he said, I'm going to have to exercise. I am going to have to eat right. I'm going to have to make this a lifestyle change in order for this to work. Because I did not pay all this money. I did not go through all this pain only to lose 40 pounds. And I still had a lot of weight left to go. So I decided to do something about it. I took ownership of it. I got out of denial and I was like, let me start working out. Let me start eating right. I have a nutrition coach. I have a fitness coach. I work with Casey, who I will give you her information, and I credit a lot of this is because of Casey. Learning how to eat, losing weight, getting down to the weight that I am, having a normal whatever that is, your body mass thing, is because of the help that I had to get and relearn how to eat, what proper nutrition is. It's okay. You don't have to starve yourself. You can eat. I eat a lot. To this day, if anybody's out there asking about surgery, I can eat a hamburger and not get full. I can eat 2 pieces of pizza and not get full. So if that is the answer that you're thinking this is a magic tool, it's not. And that is why you do not see me talk about it, because I don't want to lead anybody in false hope. I stand behind everything I do 100%. And if something doesn't work for me, or if the product doesn't work for me, or you know that about me, I will not talk about it. I will not promote it. That is my story. That is my journey. I have friends who've had great success on it. But I'm not going to give you false hope. Whatever you do out there, if it's Weight Watchers, if it's Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, you have to put in the work. You have to exercise. You have to eat right. You have to cut back on your calories. You have to. That is the only way that you're going to lose weight. And if you do not get to the root core of why you're overweight, why you're going to food for every emotion that you're feeling, you've got to figure out why. And I can help you with that. That is what part of my Crowning Confidence is. Again, it is not a diet program. It's 5 steps to learn how to be self-trustworthy and hold yourself accountable, because when you do that, you develop self-pride and self-confidence. What happens when you have confidence? Guess what happens? You are more likely to do the things that you say you're going to do and to be a better person because you feel better about yourself. You are not looking at outward things to make you confident. I've been there. I said, if I have surgery, my life is going to be 110% better. Well, guess what? It didn't. It didn't magically turn into 100% better. If I got thin, my life would get better. It's not thin. It's not better. Even though I'm thin, my life is still the same. I still compare myself to others. I still struggle. I struggle in my business at times. I'm struggling right now. I'm just struggling trying to survive right now. Like, seriously, I'm just trying to survive and breathe through all this that's happening in my life right now with what's been going on this week. And I don't even want to, because out of respect for somebody, I'm having some wardrobe issues that are major right now. Major. So I've been dealing with a lot of stress. And that stress, guess what? The first thing in my mind is like, oh my God, I just want to eat a hamburger. I just want to go eat I just want to eat a bag of popcorn. When I get stressed, that's what I want to do. And I have to tell myself, no, I've worked too hard, gone too far. I cannot go down that rabbit hole again. I cannot, because I have healed myself from eating disorders. And it's a team effort now. I just didn't do it myself. It's team and it's God. Okay? It's 100% God too. But I can't do that. I cannot disappoint myself, and I cannot disappoint God, because at the end of the day, those are the only 2 people that matter. Yes, I love my husband and I respect his opinion, but at the end of the day, I have to make myself proud, and I have to make God proud. And so that's what holds me accountable. My steps hold me accountable, and learning what it truly means to be confident and not rely on somebody saying a compliment to me, somebody saying something ugly to me winning a pageant, me hitting the top of my company and maintaining it. That stuff is only temporary, because it can be taken from you in an instant. That does not make you confident. Your inward being and who you are and your values and what you will stand for and what you will do for and how you will advocate for yourself makes you confident. When you become that person that you want to be, everything gets better because you know what you can do and you have the power in you to set a goal and to change your life, because we all have the best interest. Every one of us out there has the best interest. We say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then life happens. If you don't hold yourself accountable, if you don't set goals, if you don't know your why, nothing's going to change, okay? So that is the reason why you don't see me talk about it. Do I hide from it? No, I just don't support things when they are a negative impact on my life, because I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want me, if somebody says, oh, Brandy, I'm going to go get the sleeve, and I say, okay, girl, I think that's great, and she ends up dying on the surgery table. I don't want that on me. I don't want me to say, yes, you just need to go get gastric sleeve, and that's a magic tool, and your life is going to be better. And she comes back 4 months later and has the same experience I did, and blames it on me. I don't want that on me. Everybody's different. Every diet program's different. You do what's right in your heart. That's the only thing I can tell you about what diet program you want to do. But I stand firmly behind Casey's program, working out, learning the proper way to eat, learning different healthy things to do for my body, and how to, like, I always thought you just had to do cardio. Like, that was my thing. Like, I just got to do cardio. No, when you start actually lifting weights, it's when you start seeing your body change. So she's taught me that. And my body has changed. People ask me, how come you don't have loose skin? Because I do weightlifting and I work out. That is why. I mean, it's so hard. And everybody's different. And you know, I've lost 80% of my hair. I've lost friends. My best friend just deserted me for no reason. I have no idea what I've done to her. People have said the meanest, cruelest stuff to me when I was losing weight. Nobody ever said anything mean to me when I was gaining weight, as far as like, oh, girl, you're getting fat, or, oh, girl, you need to not eat that hamburger. But when I started losing weight is when people started being mean to me. People were like, you don't need to lose weight. One girl on my Facebook page said, you're going to have to choose between your face or your bottom. And I was like, what does that mean? And I had other people come into my rescue on that comment. I was like, what does that mean? She's like, your face is going to age or your butt's going to sag. Okay? Casey, you go to her. Casey's in Bartlett. You go to her. She has a gym at her house. I'll give you the information, Shelly. I love Casey. Okay. So I was like, what is that? Why? And then people are like, you don't need to lose any more weight, or they say things to you. And I'm like, where were you when I was gaining weight? Why didn't you reach out to me then and say, hey, I'm worried about you. I'm worried about your health. I'm worried that you're hiding in your house all day. Nobody was there for me for then, okay? So I've been through a lot. I'm still going through a lot. But I choose to push on, and I choose to show kindness and share kindness with as many people as I want to. And if somebody says something mean to me, do you know what I do? I just smile at them. I'm like, thank you, and I compliment them. To me, that's the best way to knock bullying down in an instant. That's the best way. I learned that with dealing with my mom, because some people just want to start a fight, like my mom. She's just that type of person. And if you're around that type of person, the best, easiest way is to show kindness. And that's what I teach kids when I go and travel and teach with my confidence program, is how to stop bullying. And it's very simple. First of all, they need to learn confidence. But if you knock it down with kindness, it really stops, because they can't really do anything back to you, because you're in control at that point, okay? So anyway, that is my journey. That is my story. I have to work hard every day. There is not one day that goes by that I do not do my 5 steps crowning confidence for myself, that I do not hold myself accountable, that I do not try to make the right choices, that I try to work out regularly, that I try to treat my body healthier and be better, because I've been given a second chance at life. But do I battle mentally with things? Yes. This week, I have wanted to run to food so bad. So bad. My evening competition dress got ruined. It's ruined. It's just, you know, It's been, people have made promises to me and have broken their promises. They have broken my heart. I've been through a lot the past couple weeks, but I've stayed positive through it because I'm like, God has a plan for me. If something big's not for me, because the enemies are after me right now, because that means in my mind, God's got something big for me because I'm under attack. And the enemy wouldn't be attacking me if God doesn't have something big for me. So I'm pressing on and I'm still doing the right stuff that I need to be doing for myself. And I'm not going to let it stop me, because that's one thing I've learned about myself is I'm a fighter, and I will fight because I've been given a second chance. And you got to fight for yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to fight for you but you. So you fight for yourself and fight for your health. And I'm here for you. I'm always here. I have a group, Crowning Confidence by Brandy Jo, that is a lot more detailed in there. It's free. Everything I'm telling you and doing is free. I just feel like I need to give everybody these tools, because these tools are what changed my life, and I know they can help you. They've helped a lot of people out there already. So that group is free. It's called Crowning Confidence by Brandy Jo. I just wanted to come on here because I've had a lot of people ask me, I see all your posts about weight loss. How come you're not being honest? And I'm like, oh, I am being honest. You want me to be honest? I would tell you exactly what my journey is and why I don't talk about it anymore, because I know in my heart that so many people can do it without it, and what happens to people who maybe have had it for a year or 2 years and they gain all their weight back. And so that's why I'm not going to give somebody a false hope. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not that type of person. So that's your answer right there. I'm very thankful that I survived it. I would have like 5 kids, I'm telling you, without an epidural. That's how painful it was, okay? Having Randall was nothing compared to having that. I will never forget that intense pain. I will never forget it. And the damage that I've done to my body from having eating disorders, the hair loss, so much. I used to be so ashamed of that, but I'm so proud of it because it is my story and it is my journey. And I just want you to know, anybody out there, if you have hair loss, if you're overweight, if you are underweight, if you're battling any addiction, Celebrate Recovery is for you. I am for you. It doesn't define you. What you look like does not define you. Who you are inside defines you. Am I happier today than I was when I was overweight? Yes, but you know why? It's because I'm confident. I found confidence in myself. It has nothing to do with weight loss. It has to do with what I found inside and how I know I can fight for myself and how I have a voice. It took me 40 years to learn how to stand up for myself, but now I have that, okay? And if I can have that at 40 years old, you can have that too. All right. I love you all. I'm going to go back and spend some time with my son. But thank y'all. Please, please keep me in your prayers. I leave in 2 weeks, and I just need a miracle to happen. Let's just say that. I need a miracle to happen with my competition dress. Please pray for me. That's all the information I'm going to give you about that, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So, anyway, just pray. So I love you all. May God bless you, and I will see you soon. Bye.